Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. How you doing? How you doing? I just want to say I appreciate you guys being here for just a couple minutes every day. I appreciate you guys. So this is going to be a different kind of video. These are just books that you could finish in a weekend. That's all. Now, I only picked a select few. One of them is actually just a different genre of reading that you literally could finish in like a half hour. So that's that. But the other four are actual novels. I'd like to do more parts of this. I think it'd be kind of fun doing part 1, 2, 3, etc. I think it'll be kind of fun. So the first one is just manga. Manga in general, like each one of these are about 200 pages, and I mean, a lot of people don't really like manga. Like I noticed that the book community, if you guys are book readers, a lot of you guys don't read manga, and vice versa. Like manga readers don't really like reading books, which I find is really interesting. I like to be right in the middle. But I think manga is a great way just to, if you want a quick read over the weekend, that's what you should be doing. Just read some manga and you'll just enjoy your life. It doesn't really matter what kind of manga you're reading either, because some of them, there's only like 4 volumes and that's it, and you can finish that, like I said, in a weekend, which is also really nice to read. So Jujutsu Kaisen right here, there is 21 volumes currently out. So 21 volumes, you could probably finish that all in a weekend, honestly, and it's kind of crazy to think about it. Then you gotta think, damn, I just read 21 books. But yeah, these are really fun to read. I've been reading a lot of manga and I just been enjoying it so much. So I don't know if you guys are big horror fans like I am. I love good, scary stuff. Like Halloween is my jam. One of the things that is actually one of my favorite current reads. Well, not my current read, but like one of my favorite horror novels I read over the years. And that is Amityville Horror. This is a first edition. I bought this. I was so hyped. I didn't expect to find one, but I found it. I'm like, I have to buy it. But I read this 3 Halloweens ago, well, 3 Octobers ago, and I read this book in a day. It's really thin and small. It's like 180 pages, and this is a really fun book to read, and it's scary as hell, honestly. This is a really scary book, but I did read this pretty quickly, and I did enjoy it. And it's scary, and it gets to the point pretty quick of what is happening. And I think the author did a really good job with just setting the tone of like, this is a haunted house pretty quick. And I really enjoyed that aspect of the book. It was fun to read. And I just, so many times I was just turning the page, that I just didn't expect to be so spooked out from this stuff. And it was fun. And it's quick. Like I said, it's only 180 pages, and you can honestly probably read that in like 2 days. Easily. Like, some books, when you read these, it's kind of crazy how fast you can read them, and you just sit back and just like, wow, I really enjoyed that. But yeah, this is a classic for a reason. It was a great book, great read, honestly. Would I read it again? Yeah, but I might do audio this time. We'll see. I don't like doing rereads, but if I do a reread, it's usually just through audiobooks. Just, I don't know. Call me weird, because I am a little weird when it comes to this stuff. I don't make too much of a sense, so. The next one you can do, this is an autobiography, but I read this book in a day because it was so good and just so gripping. The best part about this book is the chapters are like short. She wrote these chapters in like short, so you can actually get through them even faster. I like that way of writing, and I like that a lot more newer books are doing that kind of style, because it just feels like you can actually just get through these books so much quicker. Like I'm reading The Wheel of Time right now, and some chapters like 20-25 pages, and a lot of it feels like it could just been like cut out. We're not going to talk about The Wheel of Time too deep, because I do enough of that now in its own video. I'm not going to bring it into my other one. I'm Glad My Mom Died is what people should read. Like, this book came out a couple years ago, and I read this book over the weekend, and I was just sucked right in. I didn't expect this book to be so good, and it's just, I'm not a big autobiography guy at all. Really, I'm not. I actually like Jeanette McCurdy a lot. I think she's actually a really good person. She seems like a very genuine, good person, so I figured I'll give this book a try. And between you and me, I actually thought this book was like a joke.
What do you mean by that?
Like, I thought it was like a troll. Like, when she posted it, I'm Glad My Mom Died, I was like, what is this? I didn't even know it was a book. And then all I saw was like buzz for it, so I'm like, all right, I guess I'll check it out. And I was really happy. This is a quick, good read. And she does talk about a lot of her personal things in this life. Like, you learn a lot about Nickelodeon. And like, I think it was like, not the owner, but like a producer for Nickelodeon also through those books. So it was kind of like, ugh. And you get to learn a lot about like what happened with her mom and herself, or their relationship. And you learn about more with just Jeanette as well, and what she's struggling with now. And I really enjoyed this. This book was a really easy 5-star read for me that year. And yeah, I read this over a weekend. I usually rank books 5 stars if I read them in like 2 days. That's how I know, oh yeah, these books are peak. But yeah, I'm glad My Mom Died is a banger book. I recommend everyone checking this one out. So the other two are book series. One of them is 5 books, the other one is 13 books, and it's actually one of my all-time favorite series of all time. But it's fantasy, so it would definitely count as fantasy. I don't care what anyone says. It's fantasy. It says in the genre fantasy, so it counts as fantasy.
No way!
A series of unfortunate events is something you can read in a weekend. Each book you can literally read in a weekend. Like, this is 140 pages, and look how big this book is compared to a regular one. Like, yeah, I actually reread this book last year, and I had so much fun. It was a little fun little palate cleanser. I actually want to reread the whole series, so I might be doing that. Maybe I'll prove myself that it's like you can read these in a weekend. But yeah, each one of these books are the same size, but they do get progressively bigger throughout the series. So maybe you read this one on like a Friday night, you read book 2 on Saturday, and book 3 on a Monday, and you're already ahead. Like, you're already ahead of the game. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, these books are so fun to read. I actually really enjoy them. You get to follow the Baudelaire children throughout this whole series, and they're just bad things happen. This author literally tells you at the beginning of each book, you should not read this book because this book is bad. And it's a fact. It's so true. And you're like, every time I kept reading them, I'm like, no way. But yeah, I would definitely check out these books. These are fun. These are really easy, fast reads too. And if you have a kid that's like 10 years old, give them this book. Let them read this. Especially if they don't know, they're not reading. Check this out. So the last one is a book series that you can actually read all 5 books in a day. No joke. Like, I think they're like 70 pages each. And it's definitely a kid's book series. I read them a couple years ago when I was really getting into reading. This is a series I just never read when I was younger because I hated reading. And now look at me, I have books everywhere because I like reading. This is the Spyro Chronicles. I feel like a lot of people know what I'm talking about, especially my age of people, like, know what this series is. And it was really popular when I was younger. You get to follow the Grace family, and they move into the Spiderwick estate, and they actually learn what fairies are. So yeah, this is the fantasy series, and look how small this book is. It's small. Well, it's slightly smaller than a series of unfortunate events, which is really cool, but it's really small. I think each one is like 70 pages. I read all 5 of them in an afternoon, and that was really fun. I actually thought about revisiting these now, especially since I'm almost 30. Like, last time I read them I was 20, so I might revisit this whole series and maybe I'll make a whole video about it. That'll be fun, revisiting Spyro Chronicles. That'd be kind of fun. Maybe I will do that. But yeah, this book series, when I could remember, it was really, really fun to read, and it was just so short and fast. I felt like I'm like, wow, I read 5 books now, 5 books closer to my schedule being done. That was great. But yeah, those are just some of the books I think people could read in a weekend. It's pretty fun, pretty easy reads. Especially manga. Like I said, manga is pretty simple, but all these books are really fast paced. Most of them are under 200 pages. And if you set your goals to be like 100 pages a day, easily doable. And most of them all are so small. Pretty big print too, so you don't even have to like stress about like small fine print. That's usually like the manga aspect of it. The fantasy aspect of it. But with all these books, I would check them all out. They were all great books. They were all fun to read. And yeah, they were just fun stuff. If you guys made it to the end of the video, I do appreciate it. Make sure you guys check out all my socials down below. And of course, make sure you guys stay safe, stay hungry, and tell someone you love them. I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.